books that I have bought or received in the past few weeks or months since my last book haul. If you want to check out my last book haul, link will be in the description. You can go check it out in this video. However, I'm gonna be talking about all of the books that I have received recently. Most of them are literal gems, books that I have been anticipating since a long time, and also some new areas, some new genres that I am diving into. Without any further ado, let's just get into it. It's been too long since I have done this and I missed it. Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing very nice. I'm sending a lot of hugs and positivity to all of you. Hi, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I really hope you enjoy the content, and if you do, please do consider subscribing. I am puzzled by which book I should start with because they're all so good. Let me start with the big one. We have Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, which is an absolutely gorgeous copy. By the way, I have the large print version, large paperback version. Oh my god, I should have been knowing this. I make content around books for a living. This is one of the most anticipated releases of the year for me, for you, for a lot of book lovers, though it was a little low on my anticipated releases list because when I read Funny Story by the same author, Emily Henry, I was a little bit disappointed. It just did not hit me as much as of her other books, which is why I was not that excited about it. But obviously, like, it's Emily Henry, I love Emily Henry, obviously I was excited about it. So I did what any sane book lover would do. I started reading it as soon as I received it, and I have finished reading it too. I do sum up my thoughts in one of the vlogs that is going to come up probably this weekend itself. So if you want to know my views and my review of this book, you have to wait for that vlog. Till then, just know that I have my hands on it and I have read it and the review is coming. This next book, I actually made a mini book shopping vlog for it on my shorts because I have not been waiting for this book only this year. I've been waiting for this book since the past 2.5 years at this point, since I finished reading Powerless. All the OGs know which book I'm talking about. The book is Fearless by Lauren Roberts, which is the third book in the Powerless trilogy. You can see the bookmark. I actually started reading it also. So I reread the entire Powerless trilogy till this point. So I read Powerless and Reckless, and I started reading this book, and then I was gobbling it up like crazy, which is why I was like, no, hey, wait, stop. Okay, just like stop, because I was not paying attention to the details at all. I just really wanted to know what is going to happen. So I have not gotten very deep into the book. I don't know when I'm gonna read it. I'm absolutely obsessed with this copy. Look at that pink. I mean, when I saw this in the store, it was glowing. It actually called out my name. It was that attractive. If you guys follow my content, you know Powerless was one of the top reads of, I think, 2023. So I have been waiting to see how the entire story is going to wrap up in this one. Though Reckless disappointed me a little bit. So I got two highly anticipated romance books as a gift from Vasundhara, who gifts me one book every month, which I am so grateful for, because when I am doing a monthly reset, this book is part of it, and it just brings so much joy into my life. The books that she has sent me for the past 2 months or 3 months, one we have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Whether you believe it or not, I have never read any Abby Jimenez book, and every time I tell this to people, especially as a romance reader, they are shocked to their core, and they are like, what on earth are you doing if you have not read Abby Jimenez? Like, are you even a romance reader or not? And so this one has been on my TBR since a long time. Like, since it came out, it has been on my TBR, because this is also probably one of the best books that she has written. It's a mix of like an emotional story plus rom-com vibes. I'm obsessed with this cover, and I have seen so many bookish creators that I love really enjoying this book. So this was on my wish list, and Vasundhara got it for me. And the second book that she got for me that was also on my wish list is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I think they are two authors and they co-write the books. This one is one of the most popular romance books ever, and I think it's a friends to lovers trope. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about the book. Don't tell me anything about the book, even if you do know, in the comments, because I want to go into it blind. Now that I'm talking about it, like, I want to read it tonight. This also has been on my radar since a long time. Since I read like my first romance book ever. I think the first romance book I read was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, and I think during that time I used to read books to see if they are worth the hype or not, and one of the most recommended books even then to check whether it's worth the hype or not was Love and Other Words. So it has been on my list since so long. I just never got around to buying it because there was always another book to buy. However, now I have it in my hands because Vasundhara decided to gift it to me again. So grateful for this, and I cannot wait to read both of these books. Next up, you can call it an underrated book because it is a new release and I have not heard a lot of people talking about it, but I got this sent to me. Not sent to me, I actually requested for it from the publisher because the premise seemed so interesting. The book is called Hot Water by Bhavika Govil. I'm not gonna lie, the cover was a little bit of a reason as to why I requested for the book. Like, that definitely was the first thing that attracted me to the book because it screams summer, it screams freshness. I also read the blurb of the book, which is something related to this family and some secrets that are being brewed within the family, and we get to see them getting spilled out during one summer. That is what the description is as far as I remember it, and I also did read a couple of chapters of the book. Then I had to unfortunately drop it because I think I got fearless after that only, and I straight up started reading Powerless again. But the couple of chapters that I did read, it had a very poignant, somber vibe to the writing style, and you can already sense the tension of the mystery and the secrets that this family has from page 1, and it is also very intriguing to read. So I really want to read it as soon as possible, especially because I am reading more books by Indian authors this year, and it has been a blast, by the way. Now let me take you on a little bit of a detour for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, I don't know how long it is on video, to tell you about 2 books that I got that is like nowhere in my preference genre list radar whatsoever. You guys know, if you are watching my videos this year and if you have seen what my reading goals are, that I have been wanting to read underrated books this year, read books that nobody else is reading, that I am basically not seeing anywhere. Like, I know that maybe people are reading it, but I'm not seeing it on the internet. I am at least not seeing it in my algorithm. For that, I have been going to the bookstore and thoroughly looking for books. On one of such trips during my solo date, I came across this book, and it's the title that caught my eye, after which I read the blurb and I was flabbergasted that a book like this exists. And the book is The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat by Oliver Sacks. This is what the book looks like. It is very eerie, the cover, and this is actually one of the essays or one of the anthologies that is there in the book. It is a collection of essays that is written by this neurologist about different people, patients who are lost within their minds. They have inescapable neurological disorders, and one of the essays, one of the stories, is about the man who mistook his wife for a hat. What does that even mean? It's non-fiction. I am so intrigued by this book. Another one of such trips that I had to the bookstore, I have the peculiar case of the electric constable, a true tale of passion, poison and pursuit. This is what it looks like. I actually saw the spine of it. I think it's very beautiful and interesting looking. Focus, yeah, it's very beautiful and interesting looking, and it was just like kept like this, and I was like, wait, I've never heard of this book before. So I took it out and I read about it, and I think this is a rags to riches story, or the riches to rags story of a real person. And let me tell you, books like these have never been on my radar before, but recently I have developed this fascination for having a lot of knowledge about random ass topics, talking about neurological disorders, about this forgotten story. It's not really something that everybody is talking about, but at the same time it's something really interesting. And I don't have like a lot of friends or whatever, or like I don't go to a lot of places where I can discuss these things with other people, but I just want to be that woman who knows a lot about these various random topics, and I can make conversations about it. Like, I want to be like a smart knowledgeable woman who can like make really interesting conversations because of the books that she reads. And also I have been aiming to get back to non-fiction reading this year, but the point is that I went off non-fiction because I did not only want to read self-help books. These are not self-help books, but they are still non-fiction, so I think they're very interesting choices to increase your knowledge about things, random things that I personally find interesting. So I'm excited to read these books. I went on a Mumbai trip in around March, and over there I got 2 books from 2 different bookstores just to like, you know, have the experience of buying a book from the bookstore. So first up we have The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. Another book that I just saw in the store and bought it. I did not hear about it anywhere else. This book is set during the times of war, and I think it's the story of this man, a fiddler, whose music puts people to ease, soldiers to ease during the war. That's all I remember about it, and I really don't want to read the back of it again. I do want to go into the book blind, but it just seemed very interesting to me when I read the blurb in the bookstore, because one, I love stories with the backdrop of war. They just have a different impact on my mind and I just emotionally connect to them very well. Two, it does have the creative emotional side to it with the music and the fiddler. 3, I think this does have some sort of romance in it. And 4, I think it is also a fantasy book. I'm not sure about it. So I think it's a very interesting mix of many different things that I personally enjoy a lot. So I bought this one. I got this one from Kitab Khana in Mumbai, which is literal heaven for book lovers, by the way. Like, if you are in Mumbai, you should go to Kitab Khana. Then I went to a bookstore called Fictionary in Mumbai itself, and it was such a good vibe. I went really late into the store compared to like, you know, for like bookstore timing, and so there was literally nobody in the store except the people that were working over there. It was like this really eerie vibe, but in a bookstore, firstly, and secondly, Fictionary is literally one of the most beautiful bookstores I have been to. So it was a very good experience for me. You're literally surrounded by fiction books. I was not going to buy anything from there because I was not able to see titles that I have not seen before or whatever, but then I came across this gigantic edition of The Winners by Frederick Bachman. So if you have seen my last reading vlog, I think I have read Bear Town in that, and this is the 3rd book in that series, and I literally read Bear Town by Frederick Bachman because I got this book and I want to start reading this book, and there is another book that I have to read before I can get to this book, but reading Bear Town was a start. I cannot wait to actually get this edition of Bear Town and Us Against You. I have been looking for it. I've also been asking people for links so that I can get this edition of those books. This one loner was on the stand, and the edition was so beautiful, and it's so huge, and it's so floppy, and it's so good, and it's by Frederick Bachman, and it is definitely on my radar since a long time because Bear Town had been on my nightstand since a very long time. So it was just too perfect for me to not get it. So I bought this one even if I did not want to buy anything from the store. Now that we're done with a couple of detours, let's get back into some of the most anticipated books that I have received. First up, we have Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. Look at that cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty. I actually created an outfit to match this cover one day, and I was wearing it in the bookshop. I felt like such a, you know, like such a that girl, it girl when I was doing that, because this book is absolutely gorgeous and the color scheming made me look gorgeous. But it gets better because the story is about these 2 people who fall in love with each other in every lifetime, but they also kill each other. They kill each other in every lifetime. I have, like, this is made for me, and this has been happening for centuries, for thousands of lives. I cannot wait to read this book. It's just the wording was a little difficult for me to get into, and my brain was not able to encapture all of those words, and so I had to drop it, but can't wait to read this one. Next up, Shweta actually sent this book to me, Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. This also has been on my wish list since a long time. One of the biggest reasons has been Nona Opal, who is the author of Fool Me Twice. She has talked about this book a lot. I think it's one of her most favorite books of all times, and since then I have been very intrigued to read this book. I actually also got it on my Kindle, but I never got around to reading it because I just decided that this is a book I want to read when I have the physical copy of it, and now I have it in my hands, so I cannot wait to read it, and I am so grateful to actually get it as a gift. Thank you so much. Then in one of the months, Vasundhara also sent me this book, which is The 100 Loves of Juliet by Evelyn Sky. I actually had a book by Evelyn Sky in my bookshelf for the longest time, but I never paid any heed to it, and then I sold it on my Instagram because I was just like, this is not my cup of tea. And this is when I bought the book because it was cheap, but then I never got into reading fantasy. A few months later, I come across this title and I'm like, whoa, this is beautiful, because I think this is also falling in love with each other in every lifetime, The 100 Loves of Juliet, and it's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet. And I was like, this is perfection. I love these timeless love stories, obviously. And then I saw the author, and the author is the author of the book that I let go of, and now I'm like, wait, why did I let go of that? I want that book back. So I think I'm going to rebuy that too. But for now, throughout centuries, across continents, they will never stop searching for one another. As you can see, I have a lot of the love traveling across timelines and continents and lives. Romance books filled with angst. Can't wait to read it. Next up, I actually read the Kindle version of this book first, and it was interesting enough for me to get the physical copy. The book is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I don't know how popular it is right now in our space, but it got really popular in like the book talk, like the international bookish space. So a lot of people did talk about this book, and a lot of people did love it too. That's why I was like so eager to read it, because everybody was like, oh my god, this is giving Daisy Jones and the Six vibes, and oh my god, whatever. And also it's a story of these two people who are supposed to be each other's obsession and a scandal to other people. So I was very intrigued by it. My only complaint with the book was that it did not have enough longing in it. Actually, Magnolia Parks has way more obsession in it, or maybe Magnolia Parks has just spoiled me when it comes to obsession with each other, because that book is just like absolutely insane. At the end of the day, I did enjoy the book enough to get a copy of it, which also, by the way, is absolutely gorgeous. And I think that if you are looking for a dramatic book which is filled with scandal, and romance is not that heavy, so don't get into it for the romance, go into it for the drama, then I think you'll really enjoy this book. Did not mean to review it, but okay. Next up, I bought this book because this author is sort of like an auto buy for me, though at this point maybe I'm not gonna buy her next book for a long time, because I was a little bit disappointed when I was reading this one. The book is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. It has been annoying recently that I am reading books from like by my favorite authors, and they like, it's just been a little bit disappointing, because I feel like earlier when I used to read these books, they were quite nuanced, and now a lot is happening, multiple plot lines are going on, and they're not submerging together with each other properly. The same thing happened with this book, and so that's why I was a little bit disappointed. However, Lucas, who is the main male character, like Ali Hazelwood does not go wrong with the main male characters. Like, she has not done wrong. I have read so many of her books. I think I only have one book left, which is Bride, which I am never going to read because it's just not my thing. But every single time I read a main male character by Ali Hazelwood, I'm like absolutely in love. Point being that this was a very anticipated release for me. The cover is absolutely beautiful, and the book was not that bad, so I'm happy to own a copy of it. And I think at the end of the day, she is coming out with another book, I think in May or June, I'm not sure, and I will buy that book. Maybe not right away because I'm not like dying to read it, but I will buy that book because I do love the characters and the fun element that Hazelwood books have. In the end, I have one surprise book that was actually a surprise release for me, and again one of the most anticipated releases of the year, and I'm really hoping that this author doesn't disappoint me, because if this book disappoints me, then I really don't have anything to look forward to in my life. First up, the surprise release. So if you guys watched my top 24 books of 2024, you will see that Every Time I Go on Vacation Someone Dies by Catherine Mack has been on that list, and since I have read this book, I have talked about this book multiple times. It's definitely one of the most fun thrillers that I had ever read, even though the ending did not give me a gut punch. Absolutely okay with it. I did not know that the author is coming out with another book this year. The book is No One Was Supposed to Die at This Wedding by Catherine Mack. Obviously, the premise is going to be similar. I think the main character is going to be similar, the author itself, and something scandalous is going to happen at the wedding. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. I think this also is going to give me the vacation-y vibes that I got from this book. and I cannot wait for the fun. I cannot wait to read for the fun of it. Now for the most anticipated release of the year. Literally, okay. The book is Gifted and Talented. Yeah, Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. If you guys follow my content, you know I am absolutely obsessed with Alone With You in the Ether. It is on the Anchal Rani reading list, which I should make an updated list soon. This is now her latest release. I remember having one of her books also in the last haul too. I have not gotten around to reading it at all because it's just something that I wanted to have and read it when I am ready for it. What I was waiting for is another novel by this author. Also because this book is about sibling relationships. I am absolutely obsessed with the siblings, not exactly true, but that dynamic in books, because I get very invested into it. When I read The Women by Kristen Hanna and there was a sibling dynamic in it, it really hit me hard. And then I also suddenly remembered how when I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry, one of the reasons why that is one of my top favorite books by her is because it does have the sibling dynamic in it, the elder sister and the younger sister dynamic in it, and that really hits home for me because I'm the elder sister in my house. This one also has the sibling dynamics going on, and I cannot wait to see what Olivia Blake has done with that dynamic. Also, like, I've not read the back of the book, but I did read the front of the book by mistake, and it says money is the family business, magic is the family curse. So I don't know if this has magic and if it has like some fantasy element or not. I am intrigued and I am excited to know what is going to happen. Also, this book is like really thick. I want to see how many pages it is. Yeah, it's around 500 pages, almost 500 pages, 492, 93 pages, and it's floppy. The other books that I have by Olivia Blake, they're not floppy. So this, it's a good one. I always enjoy having a good paperback version of a book. I love the big paperbacks, I love thick paperbacks, I love like floppy paperbacks. It's just so much fun to read this, and I think I want to start reading it this week itself in a couple of days. I just know that once I start reading this, I'm not going to read anything else and nothing else is going to matter to me in my life, and so I want to read it at a time where I can binge it properly. And with that, we come towards the end of the video, the first video of many videos to come. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you so much. Bye.